Green beer. Means one thing. It is St. Patty's Day. I'm Aaron Stauffer with Man Meat Barbecue. I'm a competition cook team here in Kansas City, and today I'm cooking in the backyard. We're gonna cook up a Prairie Fresh CT butt. We're gonna convert it to a Porkstrami, and we're gonna throw it on top of some Irish Totchos. This dish is gonna be amazing, and you're gonna wanna do it. Today we're gonna use a Prairie Fresh CT butt. The CT butt is part of the whole pork shoulder. However, the bone is already removed, a lot of the trimming's done. We don't have a lot to do, but this is about a 3 to 4 pound piece of meat, and it includes the best part of the butt. It's got the money muscle, it's got the tubes, and it has just a small amount of bacon. There's gonna be so much flavor packed into this, and so much moisture because of all of the marbling that we get from the money muscle. But let's go ahead and get this opened up. And before I start trimming up, you can see just that marbling on this money muscle. I don't really see any skin or anything like that. We don't want to get rid of a lot of our fat, but we do want to get rid of this vein. And you can see that right through here. We're just going to clean it out. The next step that we're going to do is really just get this thing in a brine. We'll get this thing all the way submerged, and when you zip up your bag, you're gonna wanna try to get as much of this air out. And if you do it in a half pan or just something to help hold the bag, but we wanna get as much air out. That way, we know that the liquid is completely around this butt at all times while it's sitting in the fridge. So next thing, just get it in the fridge, let it go 5 days, rotate it once a day, just so that way we get that solution moving around within the CT butt. We don't have a measuring cup. These lids work well for doing that. We want about 50% Texas style, and then we want 50% Kansas City style. The Kansas City style has a little bit of sweetness in it. The Texas style is more salt, pepper, chunky garlic, what you would typically expect on the outside of a piece of pastrami. Okay, we've got this pork. It's been brining for 5 days. We've been flipping it once a day just to make sure, again, that salt is all moved around. So the next step is get this out of the brine, let's get it rinsed off, let's get it dry so we can get the awesome layers of seasoning on this and get it on the cooker. So we got all the salt off. Now we want to get this nice and dry. We toasted some black pepper, whole kernels in a cast iron skillet for about 3 minutes, took it out, and we did a coarse grind in just a spice grinder. We're gonna rub this on first. And you can be pretty liberal with this. Again, it's pastrami. It traditionally has a lot of black pepper on there. And now we'll take the mixture of Texas style and Kansas City style and finish it off. We don't want to be too liberal with this mixture unless you like salt on that crust. For best results, you're going to want to get this in the fridge overnight. Just let that rub sit up and get a nice crust on the outside of this butt. But if you're in a pinch, you can let this sit for an hour or two and then get it on your smoker right away. All right, we're gonna get this on the Gateway drum smoker. I use drum smokers in competition because they are consistent cookers. We're not cooking this as a normal pastrami, low and slow, 225. We're gonna crank it up to 300. We're gonna load our drum with some Blues Hog lump charcoal, and let's get this thing cooking. Okay, it's been about 2 hours. We've had this thing going on the drum at 300. It's got some great color on it. The internal temperature is sitting at right about 160, but we're gonna take this further. We're gonna get it wrapped up so that way we can pull it, because we're gonna put it on those Totchos. Okay, so I've got some foil. I'm gonna put a stick of butter. This is unsalted. Remember, this is pastrami. There's already a ton of salt on it. We're just gonna set it on here, wrap it up, get it tight, back on the drum until the internal temperature gets 195, 200, or until this butt starts to just fall apart a little bit, because that's when it's ready to go on those tots. All right, let's go back out. All right, so we got the butt pulled off. This thing has been on for about another hour after we wrapped. Internal temperature is right around 200. What we're really going for is that when we stick a probe in it, it just feels like butter. And that's when we know it's ready to be done and ready to pull. So while we're letting this rest, we're gonna go ahead and get our tots cooked. Ours are already going. We're gonna go ahead and make up the sauce that we're gonna use to drizzle over it. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get these totchos built, and we're gonna do it in the cast iron skillet, and we're gonna put it back on the drum. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna put a little bit of duck fat spray down. And then we're gonna put some of our vegetables. We got some Tinkerbell peppers. We wanna put a few of these down. We don't wanna use all of them. I also got a few jalapenos. We're just gonna lay these down, and then we're gonna put our tater tots right on top. And the smell of that, the juice, just starting to fall apart here. You can see the color of the pastrami. You got that red color that you would expect. The area that I'm taking is that money muscle that we talked about, that marbling. And you can see how tender and easy that pulls. Let's get some cheese. This cheese has a nice melty consistency to it, but we're not gonna be light on it. We're gonna use all of it, and probably sprinkle some more pork over the top of this as well. Now, let's take this out. Let's get the cheese melted back on the drum. Once this cheese melts, we're gonna bring it back in, drizzle the sauce over, and we're going to town. So I've got a special guest here, my daughter Reagan. Reagan, say hi to everybody. Or just smile. We've got these totchos off. The cheese is sizzling. It's browning around the edge. It is time to dig in. But before that, we gotta finish it off. What are we gonna do here? Are we gonna put some stuff on? Yeah? Should we put some more pork on here? I think that's a good idea. Pork garnish over the top. Nothing better than some Prairie Fresh pork. Get our sauce. Let's drizzle it on like this. We could use quite a bit of this sauce. Finish it off with more green. It is St. Patty's Day. Got some chives, a little bit of cilantro, goes a long way, so not too much. And the rest, you wanna shake those on? You wanna put those on there for us? Good job. All right, time to dig in. It's time for you to take your game to the next level. You can get your Prairie Fresh pork here at Casey Grilling Company. Happy St. Patty's Day.